Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to transfer our patient from one bed to another bed. Oftentimes you'll come across this situation when a patient comes up from the emergency department on a trolley and needs to be transferred from the trolley over onto their actual bed on the ward. Other times patient might be coming from theater or even going to theater or to the intensive care unit as well. Those are times where we might need to move people on and off beds. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using one slide sheet to go under the patient. So just do me a favor, lift your arm up again. And we're going to try to tuck it under the patient with minimal amount of rolling. If we are able to have it long enough so that it's under their feet, that's ideal, but it absolutely must be under their shoulders as well as their hips. All right, if you want to bend your right knee and with your right arm reach over to the side rail, grab on. The nurse across from me is going to push on the hips and the shoulders. I do not pull the patient. You never pull. Okay, I'm going to support her while the slide sheet gets pulled out. Okay, wonderful. And you can lie back down. Side rail goes down. So now, I've got here what's called the pat slide, and this is just going to ease the transfer from one bed to the other, because you'll notice with the side rails, the beds cannot be perfectly aligned together. There's always going to be a little bit of a gap. So this is going to make it so the patient doesn't fall into the gap. What you do is you take your pat slide and you put your slide sheet on it. Now, do you mind having your lifting your side rail up? And do you mind bending your left knee, and with your left arm reach over? I'm going to push her, and then Andrea is going to support. I'm going to take my pat slide, which is covered with the slide sheet, thank you, and slide it under the patient. It is going to go underneath the first slide sheet. Tuck it in nice and firm, okay, and you can roll back down. Now we're going to move out of the way, and we're going to move the bed close. Once the beds are aligned, the brakes must be applied on both, make sure brakes are applied on both beds. And ideally, the bed that you're transferring the patient onto is going to be lower, so you're sliding the patient downhill rather than uphill. Usually about 5 centimeters lower is ideal. Okay, so you may have 1 or 2 people receiving. You may have one person guiding the feet and one person guiding the bed, but you must always have at least 2 people pushing, okay? The person receiving is not going to be pulling, they're only guiding the patient, okay? Where we're going to be pushing, the hip, the lower legs, and the shoulders. Yeah, so we need to raise this a bit. And we'll also grab a pillow for her.
Actually, I'll move the pillow with her.
I was going to say, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're going to roll it. Lift your arms. Can you cross your arms over your chest for me? And if you are too short, you may put your knee on the bed to help push. It's important that you keep a straight back rather than, so here I'm short. Eventually I'm going to end up curling over, which is not good positioning. Notice that our arms are crossed. Okay? On the count of, can we move that bed?